Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Tyrone back with Tech Life. And yesterday in the video, I talked about these comparison charts. And as crazy as this sounds, and hear me out, this really hasn't worked for T-Mobile. And what I mean by that, I'm not talking about that this derailed T-Mobile's success. Of course, T-Mobile continues to grow at a good clip. And it is likely due to the pricing. They are significantly cheaper. As you can see, for three lines, 29% cheaper than AT&T and 30% cheaper than Verizon. And that includes the perks, the free streaming services. Now, they're including that as a cost on the Verizon and AT&T customer because a customer is going to have some type of streaming. Nowadays, with all the platform and exclusive content that's out there, you're going to have some type of streaming. If it's Hulu, Netflix, Apple TV, whatever it is, you're going to have some type of streaming platform. So that's how T-Mobile is looking at it from a pricing perspective. And I even saw a comment yesterday, and they're right, that you can get this $150 price point down to about $120 for three lines with the insider discount. That's stackable. So yeah, it hasn't really worked for T-Mobile. And what I mean by that, T-Mobile was set out to bring competition to the market. That meant, right, getting the competition to lower their pricing to get more in line with T-Mobile because of the competitive threat. Now, AT&T and Verizon haven't really lowered their pricing. They kind of have gone up in pricing, right? Verizon just increased pricing across 32 million accounts. AT&T is introducing a $7 feature for you to buy back your higher priority, and they increased pricing on adjusted plans by like 99 cents, which is still an increase. So, and then T-Mobile in the meantime, they are, I mean, let's call it what it is. They are sacrificing their margins by doing these types of lower prices. They are. And I discussed that in another video. If you look at T-Mobile's free cash flow, it will come in this year at 16.9 billion at the high end, which sounds huge. The business is generating all types of cash, free cash flow in line with Verizon and AT&T. But then you look at T-Mobile's capex and it's at 9 to 10 billion, rounding up, right? And that's relatively low. How do you increase capex? You usually increase capex out of the cash flows. Let's say T-Mobile needed to go to 15 billion, which would be 5 more billion, right? I mean, that would deplete T-Mobile's free cash flow. So that's a margin issue. They need to make more money, higher revenues. Verizon and AT&T, they can spend 17, 18, 19, 20 billion and still post 17, 18, 19 billion dollar free cash flow. You get what I'm saying? So that's where Verizon and AT&T shine. They make a boatload of money every quarter, and they still are able to invest significantly heavier in the overall business. Whether that's fiber, fiber to the home, fiber to the cell, cell sites, small cells, whatever, they can significantly invest more because of the margins. T-Mobile is undercutting the competition severely. Free line, 20% insider discount. And yes, that helps them grow. That helps them with their business and their goals and their guidance, right? It helps them take share. It helps them grow the FWA business. That's why they're so focused on the ARPA, average price per account. So what they do is they get the price down to 150, 120 if you get an insider discount, that you need a code for that. And then they try to get the reps to attach every and anything. Tablets, smartwatch, FWA, whatever they can, attach it so the overall price of the account is as high as possible. And I've seen that, right? I've seen it to where a friend of mine had got one of these deals, right? The 3 lines, pay for 2, get the third line free, get an insider discount, got it all the way down to 120, and now his bill is $331. Right? Now you might ask, well, how did that happen? Well, a lot of the add-ons, right? The tablets, the smartwatches, then the access line for the smartwatch, and then of course Some of the financing is in there as well, but most of that is covered because of the free phones. And then FWA, that's another cost. So all of that is an add-on, which increases the average price per account. So that's one way for T-Mobile to do it, but still a lot cheaper than the competition. I compared it with Verizon and AT&T because they don't give away free lines. They don't do insider discounts. Now, AT&T has access to discounts a bit more than Verizon, but I did the math. If he added similar add-ons on Verizon and AT&T, his bill would be like 400, 450 plus tax, maybe 500. So T-Mobile is still significantly cheaper. They are still very competitive in the market. So you could still say they are the value player if you compare it to the competition. Now, they're no longer as cheap as they once were. So that's a big argument by some people. But what can you do? You know, they have to make some type of cash now as this bigger player, but still not really viewed as a big competitive threat by Verizon and AT&T. And it shows. If they were taking enough customers, right, like big time, then Verizon and AT&T would adjust. They would change their business practice. They would likely drop pricing and not increase. But in this market today, they continue to increase while T-Mobile is still trying to be relatively cheaper. Now, they have options of very high-end plans like the Go 5G Next, which is far more expensive than anything that Verizon and AT&T offer. But that's an option. T-Mobile leaves that as an option, and I guarantee you it's a low single-digit percentage that will take up that plan. Most people will get on this Go 5G Plus, and that's likely what T-Mobile, that's why they're advertising this as the switch plan. It's cheaper than the competition for 3 lines. It's still the one of the highest end plans that you can get on T-Mobile, so that helps T-Mobile from a revenue perspective. But now they have to work on margins. And the only way that they can get margins up, right? And this makes perfect sense to close out the video. The only way that they can get margins up is by increasing the legacy plans. That's it. That's the only way. They can make money off of these new plans as they are priced, but the old plans will weigh it down because the old plans are crazy. I'm telling you right now. For those of you who have seen it, you guys know T-Mobile has some crazy deals out there, like 11 lines, $50, 12 lines, $86. I've seen all of that. And that brings down the overall ARPU. Even the ARPA is likely being weighed down by those old plans, the legacy plans. So they have to increase that. It's imminent. I mean, you guys should know that that's coming. I mean, what else can they do? They have to, in order for them to increase margins, they got to attack legacy. That's the only way they can do it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe if you're new. Follow my social media outlets. This is Tyrone with Tech Life. See y'all in the next one. Peace.